I'm Silven.
I'm Shannon.
Hi, guys.
I am doing awesome. Yeah. I've been writing Meta all day, so it's awesome.
I've kind of just woken up.
I am doing awesome. Yeah. I've been writing Meta all day, so it's awesome.
Oops, sorry. That's probably me. Trying to figure it out here.
It's not me.
Turn that off. Got it.
Wow, that hasn't happened in so long. It's like a flashback.
Yeah, it always happens. It's fine.
Ooh, no one's hearing you, Maple. Technical difficulties. Yeah. That's how this works.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
There!
What?
Hello, guys. I'm here.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry about that. Wow, that has never happened before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I did introduce octoswan. I'm sorry, that has never happened before. Hi, guys. I'm really sorry. Let's try this again. Hi, you're listening to Profound Radio, and this is the worst. I knew I was nervous for a reason. I knew something would screw up. Knew it. God damn it. I'm sorry. Fuck my
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. So yeah, God, sorry. Sorry. Oh my god, I'm like totally thrown out now. So yeah, we have octoswan with us today, which is amazing, and in my plan I literally have chat with Carolyn. So, hi, can I first ask the burning question of what is Osric like as a roommate? Is he loud, messy? Is he alright?
He's, well, he's very clean. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We're good?
Yeah.
Just double checking. He's very clean. He's an amazing person because he's very inspiring. Like he like loves to figure out what you're passionate about and encouraging you to do stuff. So when we're all working on stuff separately, like Eric is writing or I'm animating, he'll come around the house quiet and stealthy and sneak up behind us and be like, "What are you doing? Can I see what you're doing?"
The curious puppy type, just like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Aww.
Aww.
He has a lot of energy.
That sounds fun. I was a little bit worried he'd be like, you know, I've had housemates that are like super messy and super loud, and I was like, oh, please don't be like that.
That's me.
That's you. Is that you?
He's very quiet, and one of the odd things is he never really sleeps. Like, we'll come down in the middle of the night or something, like, I'll get a glass of water at, like, 3 a.m., and he'll be sitting there at the table working on something, and just be like, "Hey, Carolyn."
That's just a little bit creepy.
Oh my god, he's me. I do that to my family all the time. I'll get my computer and I'll go sit at the kitchen table, and then my dad will get up in the middle of the night and I'll be like, "Hi, Daddy."
That is so creepy. Oh, God, that is terrifying. Oh dear. But yeah, so you are here today. I'm just making it clear to anyone who's watching. Caroline is not answering questions about spoilers. We're just literally here to have a nice general chat about Destiel.
Yep.
Woo! Yeah. But first I want to bring up an interesting point, and I don't know if I brought it up before. And I had this great idea the other day of what if Supernatural was done in regional accents. My big one was what if it was done in the Yorkshire accent from England, which would be sort of, I don't know. Someone give me a quote and I'll try and do it in a Yorkshire accent because it'd be fantastic. Seriously, I can't think of a quote now.
Titty sprinkles.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to say titty sprinkles?
How about a classic?
How
How about a classic, like, saving people hunting things, the family business?
So that'd be something like saving people hunting things, the family business. And it's just like, just imagine it. Just imagine it.
It would be beautiful.
Someone said I'm the one who gripped you tight and raised you from perdition. So that'd be. Oh, I really can't do it in a Yorkshire accent. I'm sorry. Everyone says, oh, it'd be. I'm the one. No, technically I have a Yorkshire accent, but then I talk publicly and I don't, so it's really bad. So, yeah, I just thought it'd be hilarious. Just imagine Supernatural with regional accents, and that'd be funny.
What about a Russian accent?
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
You want me to do something like really, really hardcore, authentic Russian accent?
Yeah,
with like no proper sounds. Like, give me a phrase or something.
I'm the one who gripped you tight and raised you from perdition.
I'm the one who gripped you tight and raised you from perdition.
Honestly, I want to hear them with deep Southern accents. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I do.
Come on, we need a deep Southern accent of. Let's see. We had one. Someone said, "Oh yeah, Dad's on a hunting trip."
Dad's on a hunting trip.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been back in a few days.
They should do an episode where they get hit by some kind of curse and they all have to talk in different accents.
But just imagine it in a really posh British accent as well, so it's sort of like, I'm the one who gripped you tight and raised you from perdition.
Yes, they are from Kansas, but as you can tell, they have little to no accent.
I know! I thought, yeah.
And yet, when Dean's talking to Benny, his southern accent comes out more, kind of. It's so cute. Like,
Oh my god, though. No, imagine it Irish.
there's this one fanfic, where it's called In the Weeds, where Cass is actually Irish.
Oh, I've read that one.
Ever since I read it, I've just been imagining an Irish Cass, often, and it's just...
I wonder if I could do Welsh. It's sort of like, oh no, because I'd end up sounding Irish if I did it. I'm just going to move on quickly before I offend anyone.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just going to do a quick recap of episode 17 while we have Carolyn here with us.
Did we already do episode 17?
We did a episode 17 talk last week, didn't we? And So, I don't think we did cover, though, why Castiel didn't say you when it was asked what broke the bond. And I believe Carolyn has some thoughts on this.
Yeah, I think the reason that he didn't say you, besides the fact that I think it wasn't really the right time to say it, pacing-wise, and also the fact that they had 2 episodes where Cass isn't going to be around, too, which would have left it a big development with no, real follow-through. The other reason I think that is because I think it's an audience participation thing. It was actually a little bit clever that the writers did this because they want the audience to fill the blank for the script. They're all waiting, they're the ones that are supposed to say you, because if you make the audience participate, then that's going to make it much more powerful when they realize it, because they'll have thought they figured it out themselves. And so if you make people figure it out themselves, then it's a much better way of making that a point.
Yeah.
I think.
So it's sort of like, it's basically to make people scream you at their TVs.
Yeah. Absolutely. And see, this is what I love so much about how they're going about, if they are going to make Dean and Cass canon, about how they're going about it so far, because a lot of it is being sort of slowly shown to casual viewers and left for them to figure out, because as far as I've seen on Tumblr, we are having accounts of casual viewers who never noticed it before going, oh, hey, I think there's something between them and stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that's like the point too, because you don't want to just tell people what's going on, because then people will get annoyed at that too. Not for.
Hold on a second, guys.
But like for you want to show it and not tell it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what's so great about their relationship and how different it is from token gay couples.
Yeah.
Is because a token gay couple is tell, don't show. And, you know, Dean and Cass is show, then maybe tell.
Yeah.
And of course we want them to tell, but showing is more important.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's much more powerful that way than just saying, oh, this is like this. Because then people feel insulted.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's basically appealing to the intelligence of people who are watching as well. Sort of like, you have to work it out. It's not an easy thing to see. And it makes you feel clever. I think it'll make people feel clever, like casual viewers, if it becomes canon. And they're like, oh, wow, you know, I saw that, you know. I think that'd be pretty cool for people, so. Yeah. It's going to become canon.
Sometimes I feel like,
and
I get kind of bothered with people who want the more blatant, like right now, they want it right now, they want all the blatancy right now, because I feel like they don't realize that it would completely alienate a bunch of people if it was so blatant right now. Like, you've got this audience of casual viewers who are just now starting to see it, and then you see all these posts saying, oh, someone saw this, and that's sort of how hardcore shippers sort of feel like they have to, that this is a sign that they have to do it now, but then they don't realize that the only reason they're seeing it is because of the slow build-up, and they're not going to accept it unless the build-up keeps on becoming this gradual, slow thing.
It's why I'm not so hasty to shout queer baiting, because we have a lot of time left, even like this season. Yeah. I'm like, we are this building and building and building, and I'm just like, every episode we get another hint, and you just sort of, if this isn't going to be canon, then I'm actually going to eat a towel or something. I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, and this is the reason why parts of the fandom were so kind of being a little underwhelmed by the fact that we're not getting things right now, is because we are all already on board with the idea, and we are so used to it, and we're so used to you know, kind of reading into everything and being hyper attentive to everything that's happening between Dean and Cass, that we are kind of, as weird as it sounds, desensitized to this, because we have this definition of, you know, bringing things out of subtext, which would be some sort of direct verbal reference or some sort of action that directly shows the romantic nature of their relationship. And we're kind of, I don't want to say strict about it, but, you know, we have this thing where, you know, it's not canon until it's canon. But the thing is, there is a middle step between not canon and canon. There is this little step where it's not really subtext anymore, but not text either yet, and I think that we are really starting to get to that step. That we're not getting text right now, but that doesn't mean that we're not getting anything, because we're clearly getting way closer to being, you know, to them bringing it to a more obvious level for people to see.
Yeah. And I feel like, sorry, Blue Box Parchment said, to continue, I don't know if everyone saw Andy's metaphor of going to Disneyland. And it's like, we're heading to Disneyland and people really want to get to Disneyland, but they're not taking the time to appreciate the view along the way. And it is a good view, can I just say? You know, all this build-up is great. And, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an excellent post.
Yeah, it was. It was really good. I was like, it's so true, though. So
yeah, it was a really good post.
But yeah, it's, I mean, personally, I don't want it to happen right now, because I have this view that in Supernatural, if something happy happens, it's going to be blown to bits in the next episode, so I'm like...
Exactly.
Yeah, I want it to be canon as late as possible, so they don't have time to be killed and ruined. I want it to end happy, it's fine.
I don't see the how people can think this season's queerbaiting, because it's happening so often. I mean, with queerbaiting, it doesn't happen like every episode. It happens sort of like every few episodes, or like maybe one episode per half. Like, you know how they go on halfway, like they'll have a hiatus. This has been happening gradually and continuously through every episode. I mean, even in the filler episodes, we've been getting these parallels that are so obvious that even casual viewers pick up on it. It's sort of just like, I can't really call this queerbaiting, because it's not like they're constantly making up the hetero moments like we've talked about before. So I really don't see where some people get the queerbaiting. I guess it's their opinion, but I don't see it.
The thing is, the reasons why people call out things like queerbaiting and no homo in this situation lie outside of Supernatural. Because the reason why people become suspicious of queerbaiting is because there has been so much queerbaiting. Yeah. It's because we're like not working with a blank canvas here. It's because we're used to really crappy treatment. We're really used to queerbaiting. So like, of course people will, suspect something like this and will be afraid that it'll happen. It's because, the situation so far in general on TV has sucked.
Yeah. It's true. It's a problem with society and how we perceive sort of, queer relationships, and it's not just Supernatural. So really, we sort of need to combat everything. And but yeah, we're faced with queer baiting every day. I mean, it's getting more open. Like, you get more open homosexual couples, but how, from the start, Dean was sort of portrayed as straight. So it's sort of, they have to break through that, and it's going to take time, because they can't suddenly say one day, oh wait, yeah, Dean's bi, sorry, didn't tell you. So they need to sort of build it, you know what I mean? Yeah,
because otherwise it would kind of disrespect the characters if they were to just suddenly change who they were, to like just be like, oh yeah, they're bi, by the way. Like, that would be that would be awkward for everyone.
Yeah, we need to remember, like, sorry, Shannon?
Oh, I was about to say, I also feel like people say, oh, but we've gotten 5 whole seasons, almost, or 4 whole seasons of build-up. I'm like, I never really felt the build-up from the last few seasons. I mean, in Season 4, Cass was a brand new character. I didn't think that anyone who wrote during that season thought of Cass and Dean as a couple. And then in Season 5, when it started to become prevalent, they still weren't thinking about it, and that's when the queerbaiting started. Then in Season 6, they sort of thought that they could get away with queerbaiting, because, I mean, Season 6 and Season 7, yeah. And now I feel like in Season 8, it's sort of, I can't explain what Season 6 and Season 7 are, because it's Season 6 and Season 7. But now we've sort of gotten these, I think we've gotten these showrunners and these writers who are actually taking what we say seriously, and now the actual build-up is starting. Yeah. I don't consider any of the past build-up. We're getting build-up now, and it's going to be build-up that's going to take a while, possibly past this season. So I think if people want something, they have to be patient, because good things come to those who wait.
Definitely.
Yeah, and the thing is, building up feelings in Dean and Cass, like, separately, which could have happened totally, even in Season 4 and 5, is different from building up to the actual point of some sort of relationship or something like this. It's because, they kind of existed and viewed it separately at that point. And right now we're really getting to a place where Dean is starting to figure out his sexuality, which is also a legitimate process. It's something that takes time to figure out, and I really like that Supernatural is kind of, not all that explicitly showing him doing it, but at least it somehow explores it and puts him in a situation where, a dude flirted with him, a girl flirted with him, comparing his reactions and everything.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, like, we have to remember Dean was obviously brought up by John, and can you imagine if, like, Dean hadn't been straight, it would have been sort of terrible for him, because he's meant to be this perfect soldier and all this, so he's never really been his own person. But in Season 8 we were seeing him become more and more his own person. I think that also includes his sexuality. So he's discovering a lot, so it's going to be good. So yeah. I have Shannon's mother down. So, Shannon, your mother.
Okay, so recently my mother has been very busy, and she hasn't been able to watch any of the new episodes since before Remember the Titans. So she decided, since the show was coming back on, and well, yeah, you know what I mean. Since she hasn't watched 817 and the show came back on and there was this new episode, she decided, I'm going to get caught up. And it was the most stressful period of watching television I have ever had in my life. Because my mother watching Supernatural is like watching a hurricane mix in with a tornado. It's so nerve-wracking because she gets really into it. Like you guys saw my reaction video, to those of you who watched it. I get really into my television. She gets 10 times worse. Like if you sit beside her, she'll grip your hand and then she'll be like, what's happening, Shannon? Tell me! And I'm like, I don't know! And anyways, and then it got to the scenes where I moved over and said, the fandom really liked this scene because of such and such. And then she turns over to me and completely deflates and tries to disprove everything that I say, and then that just sort of gets me angry. My mom has went from believing that Destiel could exist to being in complete denial from it, and I'm wondering if you guys have any sort of parent, or if you guys know anyone who's like that, like anyone who refuses to see it or believe it, like not just people on the chat, but you guys too.
Yeah.
Like, do you guys have that too?
Well, I know for a fact, if my granddad was still alive, he would have stopped watching Supernatural by now because it would have been too gay for him. So that's a plus. He stopped. We have soaps in England, the ongoing every night you watch a soap, and and he stopped watching a whole soap because there was a gay kiss on it. So yeah, he would have stopped watching Supernatural. My mother says there wasn't a boner, but her husband says there was a boner, and my dad doesn't care. So it's cool. That's my family. So anyone else?
No, I don't know anyone. All my friends are firm Destiel believers.
Like everyone around here. Oh.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go Carolyn. Just butt in. Just ignore him.
Oh.
Yeah.
The only parent that I know my parents don't watch Supernatural, but my best friend's mother has watched it with me once. She was doing some work on her laptop while I was watching The Man Who Would Be King, and she looked up. She's never seen Supernatural before. She doesn't know anything about my personal investments in the show. She looked up and watched for like 5 minutes and was like, and she turned to me and she said, "Are they in love?" And I was like, why do you say that? She was like, because that's not how friends look at each other. They're looking at each other like they have been in a relationship for a very long time.
No. And it's like, right, I was, because I've got a boyfriend, and he watched the crypt scene with me. And I said to him, like, I don't even, I'm in a relationship with someone, and I don't even cup someone's face like that. And I said to him, and he's like, yeah, you never cut my face. So I did it, and I was like, isn't that romantic? And he's like, yeah, you never do that. That is, like, the most romantic thing you've ever done to me. And I'm just like, it's true. I'm just like, it's some of the stuff they do. It's only people in relationships do that. It's the lovesick looks, and you're just like, oh my god, this cannot be happening. It's terrible.
Mom has never had a good relationship because she said that everyone cups each other's face, and I'm like, okay, hold on a second, Mom. I have never cupped someone else's face. I never even cupped my first boyfriend's face. Okay, so.
You don't just walk up to someone and just cup their face, just like, I'm so sorry.
Oh god,
like,
it's the same.
Goodbye. You don't cup my face and keep me there. That's just weird.
It's the same as the peach fuzz touch. It's like, okay, guys who have male friends with fuzzy faces, how often do you touch their fuzz and go, nice peach fuzz? That is just so friendly.
Who does that? Anyway, I'm just gonna see what everyone's saying in the. Lauren says she's never cupped anyone's face either. Gemma says my mum is like, when are they going to get together? And has always said Dean's bisexual. So we have some supportive parents here. My friend John is a giant SDL fan. Oh yeah, my parents are still on season 1, but they really like it. That's good, from Celestine. So I think, the casual viewers are starting to see it more and more, and I think we all sort of agree that we don't cup each other's faces.
Yeah. I have done the peach fuzz thing to someone, but there was a clear indication on my part that I would have to have sexual relations with them. So, I mean, I'm just being honest here. I, in fact, do that to that person every time we see each other, so, like, when I saw Dean doing that to Cass, I was like, Dean, wow, Dean.
Gemma says she only cups people's faces when she's drunk, so... Zalal says, my date did it once and it was very intimate, so yeah, it's sort of like, you don't do it, it's just, no.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no one does it.
And I mean, like, Dean even clutched onto Cass's arm.
Oh, God,
to
I
me,
know.
that's sort of like
Yeah.
to keep Cass there. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Did you see Castiel's face when Dean grabbed hold of him? It's just like everything just fell, and I was like, oh my god, this is not fair. It's
Yeah, because it's this moment where the mood completely changes, because when Cass outstretches his arm to Dean, Dean thinks Cass wants to kill him, but when he touches his arm to Dean's face and nothing happens, then he gets that he's Cass again.
Yeah.
And it happened so fast that it's so emotionally charged, it killed me.
It killed me too, but yeah, Blue Box Parchment says they only cut people's faces to prelude kissing, so... I wish. So yeah, I mean, episode 17 was just absolutely full of this stuff. You had Dean the jealous boyfriend. You had finally sort of, Meg sort of talking to Sam, which can I just say I loved, because, she's been in it since season 1, and like her and Sam. I always thought it'd be Sam that would kill her, to be honest, but. I don't know.
We were betting who would kill Meg last time.
Yeah.
Not last time, but in one of the broadcasts. And I couldn't remember who said who. I think I said Crowley, actually.
I know, I thought it was going to be Crowley, but I wanted it to be Sam, so...
I said it was Sam. I thought Sam was going to kill her.
Yeah, it would have made sense, but, yeah. Just talking to Sam gets you killed now, apparently. Someone earlier said that we need to keep Castiel away from Sam, and we have to hope that Castiel doesn't grow a vagina, because then he'll die. So yeah, it's but episode 17 was great. I wrote a big long shouting meta because, like I said, who needs an I love you, which was definitely cut, can I just say, when you have a warehouse full of Dean's dead body. So it's she made him kill Dean 1,000 times, and if that doesn't speak volumes, then I don't know what does. So
yeah. I think that the reason why people are a little bit, upset of the of I love you, the only reason why is because I love you is something that would more strongly restrict the meaning to a romantic one, and that is what we need for canon.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only reason, because in reality, I need you is an extremely powerful phrase, and the only reason why people are angsting is because we want an indication of a romantic nature of a relationship. And yeah, we will, at some point, if we get an indication of romantic relationship, we will need something that, caters more directly to that. But I think that at this point, it was very right for them to have an I need you there.
yeah. Any other thoughts, anyone? On the I need you, I love you line?
I feel like the I need you was very important for this moment, just because it indicated just how much Dean does feel for Cass, but he's still not at that point where he would know consciously that he loves him in a romantic sense, but he does know that he needs him. We've seen that all through season 8. And so I think the I need you was a very important step and very powerful.
Yeah. I also kind of think that Dean doesn't really value I love you as much as he values I need you. because the experience he's had with romantic relationships didn't go very well. It didn't work out in the end, and those were relationships that, you know, functioned on the premise of "I love you," and, you know, also their dad would, without a doubt, you know, tell them that he loved them, and Dean has all kinds of angsty experiences related to his childhood. So I just feel like he puts much more meaning and much more feeling behind an "I need you."
I mean, it's like people have been comparing it to when Bobby told Ellen, I think it was in sort of the alternate universe thing, that he needed her. And that was because Ellen in that universe was his wife. And, you know, he's saying he needs her. And sort of like, this is the Winchester way of saying, you know, that they love each other. So it has a lot more behind it. Sorry, in the chat they're saying they'll deny Destiel till the end, and it'll just be platonic sex apparently. So
yeah, I think Dean is also kind of a little bit incapable of those 3 words, just a little bit, because even when he was with Lisa, let's remember that he said this thing, whatever we have between us.
It's like you are living with her and having sex with her.
Like, this thing, whatever we have. So yeah, Dean is just, he's bad at words when it comes to these things.
Oh gosh.
He's probably really scared of those words because he knows that they mean so much to people, and that they would mean so much to him too. So like, I can imagine that Dean is probably inwardly like really terrified of that prospect of taking that step if he becomes like aware of it too, like consciously aware of it.
Yeah. I mean, I think the chat last week confirmed that the only time Dean has ever said "I love you" on the show was to his mother. So, you know, he hasn't said it to Sam. He didn't say it to his dad or Bobby. So he's only said it to his dead mother. So yeah, it's not really a thing Dean says. So to expect it to just come out is a bit
Yeah. I think at some point, maybe sometime in the future, it could become a thing Dean says, but I mean, at this point, we're nowhere near that.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, go on.
Yeah. Who, me?
Or who? I think it was you talking, Silven,
because I think one of the reasons why Dean is so afraid of saying "I love you" is because he is afraid of failing people, failing to save people, and failing to, you know, fulfill the requirements that word gives you.
Yeah.
And, you know, he knows that having Hunter life and everything, he really can't do that. He can't do that type of relationship, and this is why he's going to be basically wary of it till the end, because he's afraid of saying it and then failing at doing what it actually requires you to do.
And also maybe thinks, you know, everyone he loves dies, so maybe if he says it out loud, that'll basically sentence someone to death. So... yeah.
Everyone I love die.
Yeah, pretty much. But Harry said that in the chat that he read somewhere that for Castiel sex equals love, and Dean said no talking about it, so he doesn't. I mean, it's legitimate, I suppose. Maybe. It's a possible theory. Yes, and Lauren said Dean's even said that he fails everything he cares about, so yeah. It's touchy for him, isn't it?
It's very touchy for him.
Yeah. So...
this is why I'm so happy about the outcome of 817, because it doesn't really in any way qualify as Dean failing to save Cass. And remember, earlier on in the season, we were talking about what would be better, if Dean saved Cass or if Cass saved Cass. And this outcome kind of gives us both.
Yeah.
Because Dean saved Cass through, you know, through the fact that he basically helped Cass snap out of his programming, and because loving Dean is what saved him from the programming, and Cass saved Cass because he was the one who snapped out of it.
Yeah.
So it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's very clever writing. Anyway, do we have anything else we want to say on episode 17 before we move on to episode 18?
I think we're good.
Are we good?
Good, yeah.
I think we are.
Yeah.
Good.
So, episode 18, and I actually didn't think we would get much in this episode, but then we had the talk. The talk that was almost a talk and didn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah, the talk.
The
It's
talk
brilliant.
Dean finally explained that sex doesn't always have to kill everyone you sleep with.
So, I like, if I hadn't been spoiled on Tumblr, because when I watch filler episodes I don't really care about the spoilers, I would have actually thought for a moment that Dean was going to actually have a talk about his feelings. But then he goes on about herbal tea, so it was so close. It was so close.
It was very close.
I mean, he was the one who brought up his feelings, so...
Yeah, but I think that it's what I thought of watching is wasn't so much that Dean was the only one who brought up the feelings, because I felt that, Dean wouldn't really tell Sam everything that happened in the crypt. I feel that he wouldn't really tell Sam the extent to which Cass beat him up or everything that happened, so I thought that from the beginning Sam was actually talking about Dean's emotional state, which to me meant one very important thing, and is that Sam already sees that Dean and Cass are a thing. Yeah. Because you don't have pep talks after your brother has a fight with, a friend or something like that with a friend, but after someone fights with their spouse or their boyfriend, you want to comfort them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can vouch for that. I never had any sort of heart-to-heart talks with anybody when I fought with my friends. That's just it's not something that guys do. Like I can go on record with every single guy I've talked to. I like to stay in touch with my feelings. So whenever I fight with my guy friends, I like to go up and say that I'm sorry, or I want to have someone talk to me about it. And then it's always sort of a thing. If guys fight, they genuinely do not talk about it. They just sort of shake it off and walk on and try their best to fix it, and if it's not fixed, it's done. Sam wouldn't have talked to Dean about that if they were just friends.
Especially considering, Dean has been beaten up by Castiel before, Yeah.
Unless, like, there has been indications where Dean likes to talk about his feelings, and we all know that that's not even, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that I like to connect that talk to the scene in A17 where Sam asks, if he's so sketchy, why were you praying to him? I think we can kind of see Sam like slowly pushing Dean to realizing and admitting stuff, because Sam is extremely insightful with emotions, and Sam can sure as heck see what Dean is feeling right there.
Yeah. Any thoughts, Carolyn?
I think Sam is definitely pushing Dean a little bit in a good way, and I think he knows that Dean is having trouble acknowledging it himself, so he's trying to urge him into that kind of territory, but cautiously, because he also doesn't want to over push, he doesn't want to corner Dean in any of these kinds of conversations, because then Dean would probably react adversely.
Yeah, it's sort of, you don't really corner someone who might already be sort of emotionally on the edge, do you? So, it's stepping carefully, and I think we're all generally in agreement that Sam is onto them then.
And then also Dean does get a tiny bit of, oh shit, he knows type of face. Yeah. Both in the why are you praying to him scene and in the talk scene where, there's the Sam looks at Dean and Dean looks at Sam and then he looks down and like, oh shit,
It's like, oh crap. But yeah, it's like when Sam said to him sort of, why are you still praying? Dean's face, he has one wide-eyed moment sort of like, oh crap, he's heard me say something. And
I'll be back in a second, guys. I gotta go say goodbye to my grandparents.
Alright then. And I'm just sort of like, God, what else has Dean been saying in his prayers? Because, it's sort of like, what's Sam heard? So, someone's echoing, by the way.
Yeah, who's echoing? Not me.
I don't know who it is. Oh well, we'll work through it. So yeah, we have sorry, going on to 8:18 still. We have Dean and Chrissy. God, that echo is so annoying. I don't know who's echoing.
Could it be that maybe Shannon's laptop is closed or something?
I don't know. I think it's gone now. We're good. Yeah.
Okay.
Dean and Chrissy in this episode, and I don't know about you, but I just feel like there's a massive amount of character development there for Dean.
Yeah.
Sort of, it is not
So
okay
much.
for children to be hunters, and just, being protective but respecting when to step back. And that is huge for Dean, because he used to just sort of take control, just like, no, I'm saving you from this situation.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I feel that the character development for Dean lies in the fact that he's a man who is very afraid of becoming his father, despite the fact that he could never overcome his respect for his dad and his dad's authority and his dad's expectations of him. He was still consciously very afraid of becoming his dad, because somewhere deep inside he could acknowledge that the things John did were not good things in terms of their childhood. And I feel that when Dean and Chrissy met for the first time, and, in general, his actions in the past was him acting out of fear that he would become like John and still kind of panicking about it. While here, we saw him much, kind of calmer about it and knowing already that he's not like John.
Yeah.
What have I missed?
Just saying how Dean's progressing, and, with Chrissy, he sort of saw he didn't like it, but he sort of knew she had to do what she wanted, and he didn't want to just save her from this situation. He heard her side, and he's trying not to be like John. So you have a church, Silven.
I'm laughing because Jem is saying I shall join the Church of Silven. Oh my god.
Join the Church of Silven, pray against Satan.
It's okay, we only need 10 people to form a religion, so if you want to join the Silver religion, then...
What are we doing here, Robert?
Yeah! That's 3 of us.
Like
Satan can
like every day at school would be a religious holiday, so I wouldn't have to go.
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, any more thoughts on sort of how Dean's going with sort of, being a bit more like a parent towards people, and straying away from John and so on? I mean, any more thoughts?
I think Dean's character development this season in general is just so much better than, it's such a nice breath of fresh air compared to last season, where he was kind of stagnant and grumpy and a little bit annoying because of it. And we all have our various thoughts on season 7, but season 8 is just a good thing for Dean's character. He's growing up. He's learning what's really important to him, and this episode was also a nice homage to that overall arc, because it shows how different he has become from previous seasons.
Yeah.
I really like how Dean, how he really has changed throughout the seasons. Because honestly, he's been kind of static since the entire show began, and I feel like the writers have really listened to a lot of fans of the show when they said they wanted to see more character development with Dean, and that really makes me happy, because I feel like because Dean's always been one of my favorites, but you guys know I love all of them equally. And I've always felt more emotionally connected to Sam, though, because because Sam's gotten all the arcs, he's gotten all the emotional stories, but now with this season, Dean sort of he's getting his own stuff, and I'm feeling a lot closer to him than I have any other season, and it's nice.
I mean,
Shannon, can I be Satan for a second?
Yeah.
I'm afraid that one of the reasons why they're fixing Dean so much can be so that they can break him towards the end of the season. Makes me cry. Guys,
I'm just no.
I'm Mapal. I understand. I am terrified. Okay.
Oh, aren't you a Dean girl as well? Who's a Dean girl?
I'm a Dean and Cass girl, and I can decide who I like better.
See, I'm a Dean girl, and that just hurts me so much. I'm just like, they're just gonna break him, aren't they? So
it's terrible, because it's like, I think Supernatural is unique in the sense that the fans are watching and they're like, everything's going so well. Oh no!
Oh my god. Anyway, moving on from that, you have now lost some followers. We just had a religion set up, and No.
Come to my church, my children.
So we had one line that I saw a few people pick up on, where sort of Dean was teasing Chrissy about Aiden, and she's like, no, it's nothing like that. He's my brother, sort of. He's like my brother, and everyone's picked up on sort of Dean saying that Castiel is like his brother, but obviously Chrissy's been snogging the face off this other guy. So it's sort of. Do you think that could be sort of getting rid of the idea of, just because someone says they're brother or like family, that it doesn't mean they can't snog.
Kind of could be, even though I don't think we're given a completely definitive answer to whether Chrissy actually wants to be with Aiden or likes him like that. I think the important part here is Dean's reaction, because the way Dean's looking at Chrissy in that scene is like, you can't fool me with my own one-liner. He's like, I say that too.
And I want to snog his face off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I'm sorry, but she did like Aiden, because she just kept, even though he was teasing, when he wasn't looking, she sort of smiled, and you just sort of like, yeah, she does actually like him. Even though he was a bit of a tosser. I mean, he was a real tosser. I was like, no, you can do better than that. But, yeah, it sort of shows that, because everyone panicked over the we're family line in the last episode, and I think just because Dean says, like we said last week, family for Dean is the highest thing he can bestow on someone, really, isn't it?
Yeah, Dean just values family above anything else, really. Yeah. That's why when he means to say, you are my most important, he says family.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, yeah, okay, we've been through character development. Now, everyone's been shouting at us to bring up the Cowboy Junkies reference.
Oh,
okay,
yes.
Someone explain to me what this Cowboy Junkies reference is.
Okay, I will... do you know, Silven, the exact
of that
thing?
The Cowboy Junkies is a band who have several songs with lyrics that so directly suggest a reference to Dean and Cass, it's not even freaking funny. I mean, I can't remember any literal, lyrics right now, but the references, they're not even parallels. It's like, it's a song about Dean and Cass, and if Dean is listening to them, which his line suggests he is, he couldn't possibly be listening and not thinking, oh, someone wrote a song about me and Cass,
I'm just looking up the lyrics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's that. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, God, no, go away, Abbott. Right, it says, some of the lyrics are said, I said, Mama, he's crazy and he scares me, but I want him by my side. Though he's wild and he's bad, and sometimes just plain mad, I need him to keep me satisfied. So, yeah, that sounds like Castiel
There's a lot.
to me.
Yeah, there's also one about a blue-eyed savior.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, blue-eyed savior, there's like... And also, can we just talk about the fact that Carver wanted them to put that reference in?
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
It was like showrunners stepping in. Not enough Destiel references.
Shove more in. Yeah. You're very quiet, Carolyn. Any thoughts on this? Feel free just to butt in, by the way. We just...
Yes!
Yeah, just shout. It's fine.
I was gonna say, bless Khaleesi Carver. Because he's so wonderful.
Oh, dear. Oh yeah, and for the chorus of that song is Misguided Angel hanging over me, heart like Gabriel, pure and white as ivory, soul like Lucifer, black and cold like a piece of lead, misguided angel, love you till I'm dead. So
that's like, oh my god. I mean, I can totally see. I mean, if Dean ever listened to that, he could absolutely physically not have a reaction that, we have to that song, which would be somewhere along the lines of, I have feels.
I haven't actually listened to the song yet. I guess I should. I don't know if it's any good. So yeah. Right. I'm sorry. I don't have a mouse today, so my little Windows 8 thing keeps popping up, and it's really annoying. So many technical problems today. So, yes, 818 then, the home of character development and Destiel references, and Castiel references even though Castiel wasn't in the episode, which can I say is fantastic, because,
Yeah.
you know, we thought they were sort of forgetting Castiel, but they actually mentioned him. So,
Yeah,
yes.
it was awesome.
Anyway, I just have a few questions for Carolyn that have come through. Gemma in a Yorkshire accent, which is just hilarious because you're a Geordie. She says, "Hey up, everyone. I want to ask Carolyn what is her favourite Supernatural episode and favourite Destiel moment."
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I kind of have, like, bundles of favorite episodes. Like, if I'm going to show a friend the show for the first time, I have, like, a starter pack. But, let's see. Pretty much any episode with Gabriel in it is on my top, like, 5. I really liked I'm blanking on the name of the episode.
Describe it.
Here we go. Changing channels.
Yes.
I really love changing channels.
My favorite!
Literally any Gabriel episode is also a win for me. And changing channels, Gabriel, when they find out, like, when he says who he is, it does things to me. It's not
I think Changing Channels is probably my favorite episode, simply because it was such a cool episode. Like, Dean and Sam got put into, like, had to reenact all these TV shows.
Yeah. My favourite
It's
moment,
amazing.
Yeah, my favourite moment, though, has to be, Dean goes into the back of the Sam parlour and shuts the thing, and then, like, when Sam gets turned back into a human, he's, like, rubbing his ass because Dean slammed the drum too hard.
My favourite episode was when I found out that I was to take once a month for Pexia.
What was that? Sorry, Sylvan's
my
dying,
favorite
casually, so...
episode. It made me feel really safe knowing that my genital herpes symptoms could be lessened when I take once a month Herpexia.
Herpexia.
Herpexia, yeah. Favourite Destiel moment then, Carolyn?
Weirdly enough, I am one of those people that really loves the episode the man who knew too much. I love it when it gets dark and exposes a lot of, like, raw emotions. But I guess my favorite one right now would be the crypt scene.
Good choice. I'm sorry as well. In the chat box when we mentioned changing channel, there was just a chorus of Nutcracker.
Nutcracker desu.
Let's play Nutcracker.
Mr. Trickster does not like Pretty Angel.
I tried to get my little brother to play a game where I played the Nutcracker, but he wouldn't let me do it.
There's a game in England, I can't remember what it's called. I'll ask Ben later. Where it's sort of like, it's like basically let's play Nutcracker. I'll go first or something like that, and you have to say let's go first really fast, and then you just punch them in the balls. So it was a secondary school thing, and all the lads used to do it, and so you just used to see just randomly in the corridors lads punching each other in the balls. So just a useful bit of English trivia there for you. Anyway, we have another anonymous. Please let Carolyn know that her animation Reversal of the Heart broke my heart and is amazing. So there you go.
Aw, that's the sweetest.
I know, they have a habit of making you cry. They're always there. Anyway, we have, just quickly, I don't even want to say this, the episode 19 promo. And literally, my notes for this are, is that Bobby? Sam in hell? What the fuck? I can't, it's just, we finally get to see hell, but like we said, what have they done to hell? I thought, it was a queue now, so... I don't know.
Crowley
It was
probably did it just to scare the hell out of Sam.
It's been
So-
redecorating.
Special effects.
Yeah. But
maybe
I would
maybe
think
it started
so.
falling apart.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
god, that's horrible.
I got really annoyed when everyone just assumed that the innocent soul was going to be Adam, when there is like tons of innocent souls that are 10 times more important than
Yeah.
Adam. In my opinion, to any Adam fans, I apologize, but in my opinion, there are 10 times more souls that could have been considered innocent, that could have been in hell, that had a lot more reason to be there than Adam. I mean, you had Ellen, you had Joe, you had Bobby, and it's probably end up being Bobby. I'm pretty sure it's Bobby.
I mean,
Thing isn't the cage supposed to be a different thing from hell? I
it's,
never
Yeah,
even thought of Adam in that sense because, he's not in hell, just in hell. He's in the cage with Lucifer and Michael. So, like, why would he go there and try to get him out of there when he just needs a soul from hell?
yeah, it's like
I'm pretty sure if Crowley tried to get into the cage to get Adam, he would get vaporized by 2 really pissed off angels.
yeah,
Archangels.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and it's just like if they try,
That is.
yeah,
Oh, sorry.
it's
I was
good.
just gonna say the cage is probably not a fun party for anyone to go to, so they're not gonna want to open it, you know.
No, it's like let's
Yeah.
get an easier innocent soul to safety because no, you run the risk if you try to get Adam out of the cage, then you run the risk of letting Lucifer out the cage as well, and a very pissed off Michael. So no, do not try to get Adam out of the cage.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the cage is sort of in hell. I get the image it's sort of in a corner of hell that no one really goes to very much. So
Yeah.
sort of avoid that
And again-
area.
If Crowley has dressed up hell just to scare Sam, Crowley, I'm disappointed in you. Where are the clowns?
Yeah.
Maybe he'll show us the clowns later, but like, if I was Crowley, I would just carnival,
What if he dresses up Bobby as a clown?
Oh no!
He dyed Meg's hair blonde. Why would he dress Bobby as a
What
clown?
was that? What was with that? With the hair dyeing and the hair cutting? It's just...
If you're
Oh my
going
God.
if you're going to be tortured by me, you better look fabulous. That's what I was thinking.
But yeah, we said earlier that maybe it isn't a case of it's been dressed up for Sam, maybe it was dressed up for Cass as a sort of a business proposition. Sort of, look how smart hell is, I can give you all these souls. So, yeah.
Like it was like a set dressing, so
Yeah.
that Cass would think that hell was a viable option to like make a deal with, you know.
It's terrifying. It's but I think this is the real hell. I am honestly so excited to see this. Like,
Yeah,
I have
absolutely.
I've been wanting to see hell from the start, and I thought when Dean was going to hell, I thought, oh wow, we're going to get an amazing view of hell, but I prefer this version of hell. I prefer the dark corridors and yeah.
The classic hell, not the
like-
British hell.
Yeah.
Because, the British hell is like efficient, smart.
Yeah. What's up, Shannon?
I'm really excited because I feel like that in the next few seasons we're going to get to see sort of what we got with Heaven. Like, I loved how they did Heaven. Heaven
Yeah.
was just so cool.
Yeah.
How you could travel between people's heavens by staying on the road.
Yeah.
I feel like now they're going to start doing that. Like, we're going to see more of Purgatory because Purgatory is appearing later, and we're going to definitely see more of Hell, which those two have always been this giant mystery.
Yeah.
Like, I really hope that when we see more of Purgatory, that we'll sort of get to see that maybe it's not all a forest. Like, maybe there's different places depending on where the monsters go. Like, maybe there's a
Yeah.
forest section for monsters that flourish in the forest, but then you've got, like, desert sections for desert monsters and mountain sections for things like dragons, and then you've got oceans for the leviathans.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Shannon, you're basically describing like a landscape from like an MMORPG,
Yeah, pretty much.
You have the different zones in the map and you get to hide different monsters somewhere upstairs. God is playing an MMORPG with Dean and Benny and Cass running around Purgatory.
Yeah. It's... See, I think I was about to say actually that I think there could be sort of a desert section to Purgatory, because imagine just getting stuck in an endless desert and it's just sort of... Yeah, that's what I pictured it to be anyway, but then they went with the forest and I'm not really that sure why.
I work on my can.
it's Guys, it's because they can only afford to film in Vancouver.
Yeah, they can only afford to film in Vancouver, so they just do it in a forest.
They can buy a bunch of sand and like put it in a parking lot and get a backdrop.
Well, I couldn't go to Nevada or something.
They can only afford to go to Vancouver.
Literally just Vancouver. Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's Canada.
And if they were really low on budget, Purgatory could have been like a dejected filming set.
Hey, I've noticed, in this last episode, I think they used the same hotel they've used before, because I recognised the vertical sign out the front, so I'm just like, you're not even trying. Even I recognised that. I don't recognise anything, because I just sort of blank everything. I'm just like, that is exactly the same hotel you have used before. Just try harder. Try harder.
There's another question for Caroline in the Profound Radio.
Yes, I haven't seen that one yet. Quickly, my internet's slow. Yes, an anonymous asks, I think you were the person who confirmed that 819 would have a Destiele moment. Is there anything else you can say about that without spoiling?
I can say that it was that there's been kind of like an elaborate game of telephone on Tumblr going on with that, where it's been blown a little bit out of proportion, but there is a reference to the 817. It's just and I guess TV Guide already said this, but there is a confrontation between Dean and Naomi that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's where that reference is.
Yeah, also someone said that they thought Dean would summon Naomi. I think it was confirmed that Naomi goes to Dean. So I'm curious why she's going to do that.
Oh, she is so dumb.
I know.
Oh my gosh, she is so dumb.
I think
Why
it's
is she
kind of like...
Dean's going to murder her.
I think
Dean's
she
going to
probably
take the
thinks
freaking angel
that...
blade and stab into her heartless chest.
Yes, sorry, Carolyn. Yeah, just let him have his outburst.
Sorry.
I think she's probably going to Dean because she thinks that maybe he knows where Castiel is.
Yeah.
She knows that they're tight.
Well, it's kind of... I mean, it's kind of funny in retrospect. It's like Naomi's thought process. Oh, here's this guy who had stuff to do with killing pretty much most of our archangels, and then he helped get Lucifer in his cage, and then he had killed the head Leviathan. Oh, I'm gonna go ask him about Cass.
Because he's totally not going to stab me.
Because he totally didn't mention...
Naomi, and this is completely and utterly off topic, but what was she reading when that angel came in? Do they have like angel newspaper? Like, was there a headline saying, "Oh no, random angel gone haywire"?
Again.
Yeah, again. Watch out, random psychopath on the loose again. I don't know. I don't know. We got diverted there. So, the 819 promo, do we think that is Bobby, and do we think it is going to be Bobby? And if it is he only going to be in one episode, or is he going to be back, which would be amazing? Yeah.
If it's not a trap, and if it is Bobby, I don't think he'll be like solidly back or anything. I think there could be a chance that after Sam gets him out, maybe his soul would go to heaven instead.
Yeah.
You guys.
What if
does it make sense?
Hang on, Shannon's trying to be Satan. What's up, Shannon?
What if he's Demon Bobby now? Because, I mean, think about it. He's been in there for a long time, almost an entire year. He could be fully demonified by now. And maybe that's what Sam has to do. Maybe he has to take an innocent soul out, and maybe he has to spare it by killing it.
You are horrible.
Just saying.
Yeah, a few people are saying it's a trap. That it isn't Bobby.
It's a trap!
It's a trap! But yeah, it looks like Bobby, but whether the question of he's actually an innocent soul or not, or... Hey, though, Crobby, this episode is just like, if it is Bobby, this is like a big thing for Crobby. Because like me and Ben... Me and Ben pointed out...
Yes, Crobby!
Yeah.
Yes!
Me and Ben
Crobby
pointed...
super scholar! Sorry, I can't. I'm having a moment.
Me and Ben pointed out that Bobby's cell actually looks quite good and quite grand, and his door was open. So, yeah.
Oh my god.
I reblogged a post about Bobby in hell. I think maybe you guys could have seen on Tumblr saying that, no, Bobby's living in a mansion in hell separate from everyone where Crowley comes every day to annoy him personally, and there are pictures of the kiss on the walls everywhere, and it's Bobby's personal hell, literally.
Oh, yeah. It's a crobby goldmine. If that is Bobby, this is going to be amazing. I can tell. But also, can I just say that, in the promo, I just want to say that Crowley getting angry is always my favourite thing, and yeah.
Oh. Crowley shouting at people is like porn. It's just, oh.
It's been so long since Crowley randomly shouted at someone.
Yes. He's like, please. Use bizarre insults.
Oh, it's just the days. Yeah.
Oh, in Battlestar Galactica, Mark Shepard plays a really kind of dark lawyer to defend like a criminal, and he's basically Crowley as a lawyer. So I would recommend people go watch those episodes. And he yells a lot, and it's beautiful.
Mark Shepard yelling is my favourite thing, because he does it so well.
Has Mark
yes.
Shepard
Oh, he has a talent.
What's up, Shannon?
Has Mark Shepard been in everything? He's been in Supernatural, he's been in Doctor Who, he's been in Battlestar Galactica.
He just pops up.
He was even in Firefly.
But he says
best thing ever.
Yeah, he says he prefers British TV because he gets good tea there, though. So
can't get good tea on an American set.
No. Yeah, and Gemma, by the way, one of our regular listeners, and she says, yeah, Mark Shepard's tattoos and arms, yes.
Oh, don't talk to me about Mark Shepard's tattoos.
Oh god, have you seen him when he was younger? I mean, I would just...
Yes! Oh god, have you seen him in that movie with the massive erotic scenes with some woman? Oh my god. I'm sorry, Mapal and I are just having a massive moment here because we're just...
This happens to me a lot, Carolyn.
It's just me and Silven here, just like, Mark Shepard.
I always feel so left out because I don't find Mark Shepard too terribly attractive.
I find it weird because obviously he is actually old enough to be my dad. I think he is about the same age as my dad. So
I absolutely do not care that he is literally old enough to be my dad. I would in a hypothetical situation, I would just hit that. I just straight up hit that.
Same.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's.
But do we know if they burned Bobby's bones?
They did burn Bobby's bones, but they did burn his
flask.
His flask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he.
Okay.
Yeah, they did put his ghost to rest. So he's sort of a soul in hell or heaven now. It looks like he's in hell. Because, whether they let Bobby out or not, that was definitely Bobby in the promo, so...
Yeah.
Nobody else wears blue hat.
No. And yes, Brittany, I did just snort. I can't help it. So, yeah. But, I mean, what's this with Dean needing Benny's help with Sam in... Does he need Benny's help to get Sam back out of hell?
I think he needs Benny's help with something maybe purgatory related, maybe that has something to do with how Cass got out of purgatory.
Yeah.
I somehow think he needs Benny's help in something that has to do with Cass's arc and Naomi. Something like that.
Yeah. So...
But I remember seeing in a promo where he was asking about he was talking to Benny explicitly about Sam.
Yeah. It's really I don't know. It's curious.
Maybe.
I'm getting to the point where I don't trust Benny anymore. Like, has anyone noticed how weird Benny is? Okay, go with me on this. He is the one vampire in Purgatory who knew that there was some kind of exit for humans. He is the one vampire in Purgatory who did not try to completely attack Dean, which means he was obviously prepared. He managed to completely gain Dean's trust in certain ways. I feel he is very, very, very sketchy. I haven't realized it until just now. I do not trust Benny. I think he is somehow connected with Naomi or Crowley.
Yeah. I mean, like...
Don't ask...
Yes,
yeah.
Silven?
Don't ask me about it, because Ty Olsen playing him completely demoralized me. And I was like, you can do anything, okay? You're a big, cuddly, blue-eyed teddy bear.
Yeah. It's just like, I mean, I love Ty Olsen. He's like really, really sweet, but I don't trust Benny. I mean, everyone's like, oh wow, Benny's so amazing. But I said this last week when everyone's like, oh wow, yeah, I'm sure Naomi isn't that bad. It's like, just because you like the actor or the actress doesn't mean the character is a nice person. So.
And everyone's bringing up a good point. Who was they? Because Benny kept on talking about, who are they? Who are they? Because Benny always said, they said it would be here. They this, they that. Who are they? And you know who they was? Naomi!
It's just like, it's a good point. It's like, because if it was monsters, then surely those monsters would want to get out too, and they would be obviously flanking around trying to get a ride out as well. So it obviously wasn't monsters directing them, because they would have been surrounded. So it must have been the angels, or I don't know. It must be.
Yeah. If we're thinking about it, maybe Naomi could have been behind the whole shebang with getting Dean out of Purgatory as well, because, like, to do their angel business, they needed Cass out of Purgatory, and Dean is also connected to the Tablet Arc, so... like, presumably they also needed Dean out of Purgatory, so it really could have been Naomi.
Yeah.
Who's the only two people that would actually make it an imperative to find the tablets? You give the Winchesters a motive that could save everyone, and boom.
Yeah.
You give them people that are constantly being attacked by someone else. You give them people that they care about constantly being controlled. Boom, they're obviously going to find these tablets. Naomi needs the Winchesters to find the tablets. That's why she probably put Benny in Purgatory, because she knew that Dean would probably be extremely desperate, and he would need to find a way. So she told Benny what to do, since she probably couldn't get to Dean. She put Benny in Purgatory by killing him. Then Benny told him what to do. Benny walked him through everything. The only thing that I don't think she suspected was that they would find Cass. And I think that she was really banking on the fact that Cass would want to stay there, because she wanted to be the one to get Cass, but she didn't want Dean to get to him first. I think that's part of the reason why Cass ended up breaking before Naomi could get to him, because Cass's renewed hope in himself by seeing Dean sort of was that thing that really helped him get past all of Naomi's control in the end, you know?
Yeah. It's that or she wanted Castiel out of Purgatory because he's he's a powerful Seraph, and she wanted him out to hunt for the tablet and so on. So she thought he would go out with Dean, like Dean would be able to open the portal and Cass would go through with him, but she didn't bank on Castiel wanting to stay behind.
Two yes because reasons. Hold on, I have one last thing to say.
Okay.
Two yes because reasons. Maybe Benny doesn't know he's the bad guy. Maybe he genuinely thought he was the good guy. Benny said they. Maybe he really didn't remember who they were. Maybe that's what Carver's been talking about this entire time. Maybe Dean and Castiel's entire escape from Purgatory was completely and utterly planned by Naomi from the beginning.
Yeah.
I have one thing to... I have one thing to ask, though. If Naomi really made Benny do all of that, then what is in it for Benny?
Yeah, maybe it was just... I don't know, it depends if she got to him while he was in Purgatory or if she sent him to Purgatory, so...
Because if she got him while he was in Purgatory, it makes sense, because she's like, I'll tell you how to get out if you get this guy and that guy and you get out. That's like, okay, but if
that could definitely be it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because as far as we know, Benny's only motivation to get out of Purgatory was to just get out of Purgatory and start his life over again.
Yeah, because he wanted to get back with, was it? Yeah.
His bones were pretty decayed,
Although-
though. It was literally a skeleton when Dean put the soul blood thing back on the bones.
Yeah.
So he'd been dead for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could also be that his allegiance changed since he got out of purgatory, though, because I think that if Naomi just told him where the portal was with the, condition that he would get out of purgatory together with Dean, it still kind of wouldn't guarantee that he would have any kind of allegiance, with Naomi right now. Because, why?
Guys, what if Benny doesn't actually exist? What if Benny doesn't exist? What if because obviously they've reused an actor from an earlier time, what if she's taken that image of that person and she's created this sort of guide in their heads to lead them out of purgatory? Because obviously they wouldn't have trusted an average monster in purgatory, so she created something, and now maybe he's still trying to keep check on him and it isn't quite working. I don't know, what if Benny doesn't exist?
Ooh. That's actually a good psychological thing, because think about it. Maybe Benny is a manifestation that Naomi created out of Dean's head, and he also could represent the fact that Dean still had some trust issues with Cass, because Benny wanted to leave Cass, but eventually he was okay. Just like Dean was unsure what Cass would be like, but eventually he was completely okay with Cass, even to the point of saving him.
And maybe if Naomi didn't want Castiel to come out of purgatory, we had all of this of Benny trying to persuade Dean to stop looking for Cass originally. So, yeah, what if Benny doesn't exist, eh? So...
Yeah. Although, I have to say, if Benny wasn't real, wouldn't Cass be able to tell?
Well, Cass sort of at first was really confused when he kept popping up in Naomi's room, and, if Naomi is as strong as Gabriel, she could... Because someone said, Benny shook hands with Sam. But if Naomi is as strong as Gabriel, she could make a whole new world and, put them in it. So, what if Benny's not real? Yeah. Because I had this sort of, the idea of, because they're reusing all these actors, and I think maybe they could sort of be agents that are sort of being created by Naomi from the memories in their heads. So,
Yeah.
That's
Because they
scary.
are... They're reusing an astounding amount of actors, and Carver's quote with, "Nothing is what it seems," is still kind of haunting us, isn't it?
Yeah. So, yeah.
What do you think, Carolyn?
Carver. Yeah, Carolyn. any ideas on this?
My only issue with maybe if Benny were not real is how would that explain the episode where he was working at that diner and everything went to shit.
I haven't seen that.
An archangel could definitely pull through with that, but it seemed pretty real that he, was existing and had this previous connection with this chick. And,
I think it's a teeny bit impractical in that sense, isn't, why would they also go to the trouble of doing all of that stuff?
I think Benny's the wild card friend, ally type character here.
Yeah.
And that's what they kind of need.
Yeah. But it's sort of like, like someone said, we've had 20 or 21 reuses of actors in the space of 19 episodes. Now that is fishy. That is really fishy.
Or maybe CW's just cheap.
No, because it doesn't necessarily mean they're paying, they could get actors like amateur actors from anywhere, so yeah, it's like, why are they reusing them all? Unless they're basically turning into the BBC where they have a grand total of 20 actors and they just reuse them. So, curious. So, yeah. Someone said, what if Purgatory isn't real, though? Someone said.
No, Purgatory. I'm pretty sure Purgatory is real.
Yeah, I think.
I do think Purgatory is real.
Yeah.
I could see their reasoning behind that, but I feel like there was so much stuff brought about it from season 6, and there was so much lore about it now that that'd be a cop out if they made it fake.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how would it make sense for it to be fake with all the cast consuming all the souls, all the rituals it took them? I really don't think they would.
But these other people that keep popping back up, now that is debatable if they're real or not. I have this strong idea that some of them are agents put into like the world to monitor what's happening, but I don't know.
I don't know. I don't feel like that though, because I mean, they've really taken the time to make all these reoccurring characters into some really cool characters that a lot of the fandom really likes. I feel like if they made them all those characters fake, or if they made them all agents of Naomi, then it would really alienate a lot of the fandom, and that's really not what we need right now, especially since they're on such rocky waters with the fandom as it is this season.
Yeah.
I think it's along the lines of they've worked with these actors before, and practically they're just gonna use them again.
Yeah, I think it could just be
people who are really good, and why should you get new ones?
Yeah, I think they could be just doing it because it's convenient.
Yeah.
Also,
but that line, the line of "not everything is as it seems" is still haunting me. It really is.
Yeah, it's that line because like right now we're a little bit in a moment where we had so much drama and that really dramatic turn in 8/17, and now we're kind of just like, what are they gonna do? What's gonna happen?
Yeah.
I'm still telling you guys that I think that when he says not everything is not what it seems, I'm telling you he's talking about their escape from purgatory. I think every single thing that's happened has been orchestrated from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say something. Oh yeah. Have you heard the speculation that Gabriel is coming back because of the wallpaper?
Oh please!
I'm just.
I would love that so much.
But it's so believable because they are reusing the wallpaper that they have used in Changing Channels and Hammer of the Gods. So, I know. I'm
Supernatural. The series where people try to guess recurring characters based on wallpaper patterns.
Yeah, but it is.
It's really awesome. Angel Tablet brought back to life a lot of the angels that have died. Like maybe they use it to bring back to life.
But what if Gabriel has some sort of like manipulation going on here? Maybe he will come back and sort of protect them by using a bit of an alternate universe or something, and that would be so cool.
Oh
so
wow!
cool.
Please.
I'm a third member of Team Free Will, and everyone can actually have reason for shipping Sabriel.
Oh,
Yes!
Yes!
Oh God!
I need more reason because I love it, and I just want to say I ship Sabriel really loud. Yeah. But I think he could be coming back because he was on set, wasn't he? Like Richard.
Yeah, he was on set.
He was on set.
So, yeah.
Wasn't he? Did he have a mustache while he was on set?
He
based
did.
on his pictures.
But considering that Gabriel's last scene was like a porn scene and he had a fake mustache.
Yeah, Casa. We could be having Casa Erotica Gabriel back.
He'll probably
maybe.
I bet Sam watches that video when he feels alone.
Oh, maybe he creates an alternate universe where that's like changing channels, except they're in Casa Erotica.
No, imagine if Dean is watching porn one day and he just finds this video that's just Gabriel. And he's just sat there like, what the fuck is happening?
No, imagine if it's that changing channels universe where everything is Casa Erotica and Dean, they wake up in that universe and Dean is dressed as a pizza man.
No, oh my god, what if it's a gay porn video and him and Castiel are trapped in it and he's just like, you have to play your parts.
This season is already so much like fanfiction. I don't even feel weird talking about this.
This is something that could happen. Oh my god.
It's like in earlier seasons we would be like totally, we're just impossible speculating, but this season it's like improbable? Who knows?
You know what? I'm not even excited about any particular. I'm really excited about how hilarious the bloopers are going to be.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, I just imagine if Gabriel just sticks Dean and Castiel in an alternate universe, just like, you stay there, I'm gonna go save Sam, and you're gonna have to play your roles in this gay porn video because you're screwing things up, so I'm gonna go save my big moose boyfriend from hell now, and...
Because you're screwing things up, I decided to rechannel the screwing in another direction.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh dear. But yeah, someone asked us just quickly before we go on to questions and other things, what we think of the upcoming episode titles. Because we have Clip Show and we have Sacrifice. And I don't like the sound of either of them.
Sacrifice.
Cass is gonna fall on sacrifice.
Yeah, Cass is gonna sacrifice his grace.
Honestly, Clip Show scares me a lot.
Wing clipping.
Because, oh god, yes, it reminds us of wing clipping, and I just, no! I'm just like, no!
No, I'm sorry, a sacrifice does sound absolutely fucking awful.
Yeah.
And you know
It
it's
sounds
going to
terrifying.
be a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a cliffhanger.
Of course. It's going to be terrible, isn't it? It's, oh.
Yeah.
No.
We're all just going to be crying in a pile afterwards.
Yeah.
Cry pile, everyone pile on top of each other and bathe in everyone's tears.
It's really more of a fountain than a pile. Like a really slow, weepy fountain, you know.
One of those that trickles down over the rocks.
Exactly! They have a fountain in Crimea that's like a crying fountain where there's like a little drop dripping, and I'm like, we're just gonna be like a massive, big, crying fountain.
No, but yeah, I'm sorry everyone. I know people don't like the idea of fallen Cass, but that is so coming. I don't think there's any doubt now. That's what's
But
coming.
It's gonna be really sad.
It is.
Yeah, I'm one of the people who really is trying to kind of escape that idea, and I thought of a kind of, cop out inside my head so that I don't traumatize myself with it too much just yet, and what I was thinking is that if Cass does lose his grace, and part of next season's arc would be him finding it.
Yeah.
And it really would be killing two birds with one stone, because it would not completely give us a fallen, totally human Cass that Misha was concerned would be boring, because it would still kind of keep him in that angel zone, and it would give him a purpose in the next season, at least one of the purposes, and it would keep him depowered so that he could be there often enough.
Yeah.
You know what would be really sad?
What?
No, it's really sad.
What?
We all know the giant glowy light that happened when Cass picked up the angel tablet. What if that was a sort of thing that set him off? What if he has to take that tablet to Metatron? Only when he gets to Metatron, he expects like Metatron is like the good guy, but then Metatron just completely, since he's so powerful, he just sort of waves his hand, and then Cass's wings are ripped off, and you get to see him crying down in agony as he feels his wings getting ripped off, and he's falling.
Oh my god! Thank you, Satan. Thank you for the mental image.
That's what I was writing for the show. I'm just saying.
Oh, I hope they never, ever, ever let you anywhere near Supernatural, ever.
Yeah.
I think the writers could learn from me.
No! You're not going near it. No.
I have to be Satan this week, because Silven took my thunder for a second. But there you go. See, now
yeah.
Christo.
People in the chat are saying Christo.
Christo.
So you guys know my eyes are as black as coal right now.
Anyway, let's move on to some questions, because everyone's really angry at Shannon right now. Anyway, I'm going to start with, we had a message from Celestine Faye. I was rewatching episode 18, and it just dawned on me. I overlooked Sam's cryptic "they won't be the only ones" at the end, as I thought it only made reference to Sam's wish to have a family. But, from Dean, maybe if we shut that hellhole once and for all, those three can have a real life. Maybe they won't be the only ones. What do you think? Awesome parallel, or just my imagination? I couldn't find the ass-box tonight, and so on. So,
That's actually so awesome.
Yeah.
Because, it could be referring to Sam just talking about him contemplating having a family, because it had been shown very clearly that Sam would like a family. But it could also be Sam talking about, Team Free Will, which will then obviously lead us to another thought that Sam is aware of what's happening between Dean and Cass, and maybe he's also talking about that.
Hunting husbands.
Hunting husbands. That's coming later. Yeah. Carolyn. Parallel.
I was a little bit like with the latest episode. I think there was a definite family parallel there, and I actually got a little worried at one point when the guy asked if Sam wanted to have a family. I was like, uh-oh, I hope they're not gonna set up that like Amelia's randomly pregnant, because I thought we were done with that soap opera stuff.
Yeah.
Because I really hope that doesn't come into play later. But I doubt it will, and if it does, I'll just be like, what?
Yeah, that's a bit too, a bit too.
I was worried as well. I was like, oh no, not having babies, I'm going to stop watching the show. Unless it's a Nephilim. If it's a Nephilim, I am all for that. All for
that. Yes, okay, Nephilim would be great.
What was that, Shannon?
I think...
What did I miss? My mom called and I didn't get a chance to say anything because she was really angry.
I think we just said it would be a nice parallel, but we don't want any babies.
Yeah.
Oh, no babies?
No babies.
We don't surprise babies.
No. Surprise Amelia babies. No, thank you. Bless you.
Thank you.
But I think there was a definite parallel, but underlying thing there with the family thing, and that they're kind of forming. I mean, they've always had this kind of family dynamic, but they're forming a new type of family with the Men of Letters bunker, and they have a home now, and I'm just so happy about that.
Yeah. I'm happy and scared.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone's like, obviously it's bless you. Obviously, it's a bit of a Team Free Will parallel. You've got these 3 people fighting monsters and the sort of this haphazard family. But also, if this is a Team Free Will parallel, 2 members of this young Team Free Will were making out in a car. So
yeah, so that's kind of Yes.
Completely off topic.
And also,
can I say? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go, Shannon. What is it?
I was going to say I really like how they've given a way to interconnect Sam and Dean with the whole supernatural world with the Men of Letters. Because, I mean, they got their connection with the angels, but then I feel like, well, it sort of really didn't make any sense to me. But now with the Men of Letters and showing how actually interconnected that Sam and Dean were supposed to be with the supernatural world, it's a really awesome plot point. I really hope they're going to explore it more later.
Yeah.
That was just me spewing out my thoughts.
Yeah. About the whole 2 of them were making out in the car. I really love how they really went about showing that Josephine is Sam.
Yeah.
In the parallel, because there was this moment at the beginning of the episode where Josephine was tending to the victim, whereas this Sam just looks at her with these round eyes and he's like, this child can do things, and it's just kind of really kind of puts that parallel into motion, and then you see her with the book on the table, everyone's like, oh, nerd, and you're like, duh.
And she wants to do good at school, and she's like doing really well, and so she's obviously Sam. Chrissy's obviously Dean, because they connect very well, which leaves Aiden as Cass, and...
OMG, it's just like Gilmore Girls.
OMG.
When Luke met his daughter... Sorry, we're talking about Sam, and then that made me think of Gilmore Girls, and then all daughter talk was talking about when Luke met his daughter for the first time, and she was really, really smart, and he was really, really surprised.
Yeah. So yeah, if there is this really nice Team Free Will parallel, which I am starting to believe more and more, then we have Chrissy saying, no, he's like a brother to me, and she secretly really likes this boy. So
yeah. Blue Box Parchment is bringing up another good point in the chat that maybe Aiden is Dean and Chrissy is Cass. I am honestly equally contemplating the both.
Yeah, I was about to say it sort of swings both ways.
Because I mainly judged by Chrissy because, we don't know that much about Aiden. But on the one hand, Chrissy is shown to be very similar to Dean in some things, and she's a little bit of a no chick flick moment kind of thing going on. She's this real serious badass. But on the other hand, when you see them working so well together as a team, you're kind of like, oh, but Dean and Cass make a really great team.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like people saying that Aiden was like a younger Dean. That is true. Aiden's like a younger Dean. Chrissy's a bit sort of like the middle Dean, and you sort of think Chrissy's going to grow up to be like how Dean is now, which is quite nice. So
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, next question from Daughter of a Badass. Although it's clear that Dean and Cass are in love with each other, do you think that they realise this themselves? If so, at what point do you think they came to this realisation, and are they aware that the sentiment is mutual? I
think they're both
early. Yeah. So, any ideas? Because I think Castiel knows something's up, but I don't think he knows how to label it, and he doesn't think he should talk about it. So
I have stuff to say. Especially in connection to 817, with Dean realizing, both his own feelings and Cass's feelings. I can't say Dean would actually call it love at this point, again, because Dean doesn't really put much meaning behind the word love, because he's kind of had bad experience with the word. But the fact that Dean in 817 says, "It's me," to try and bring Cass back, to be himself again, it really speaks volumes about the fact that Dean really knows how strongly Cass feels about him. Because if he didn't know, he wouldn't be saying, "It's me." The only way it would make sense for him to say it if he knows that me really means so much. And I think Dean has really begun to realize that, hey, Cass really feels very strongly for me. Yeah. It's also connected to the fact that it's helping him with his self-loathing problem, because we're seeing also in the latest episodes that he's finally starting to realize that, he's worth something.
Yeah.
And when he says "it's me," it kind of really brings that point home that, yes, I know that Cass kind of needs / likes / loves me.
Yeah. And it's like he could have easily said, "It's me, and Sam's out there, and Sam needs you too." He sort of left Sam out of this, and he sort of
just went, "It's me."
Yeah, it's me. It's just...
Yeah. It was just amazing. And also, I think that at this point, Dean is also, at least, he's a step ahead of Cass in the relationship, because he's also realizing his feelings as well, because he's nowhere near, ready to just say something like, I don't know, "I love Cass," but he has said, "I need you" already more than once to Cass, and aside from the verbal part, can we also talk about how much Dean has stopped repressing his wish to, just be with Cass, talk with Cass? Because right now he's really open about it. He's like, "Yeah, I prayed to Cass. Yeah, I look around the room because I expect Cass to show up because I really want it to happen. Like, yeah, I want to spend time with Cass." I think it's like the first step to just, accepting it and saying, yeah, I would like to, be with Cass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very important step for him too, because there's no bluster attached to it. So he just wants to be with Cass, and we saw that in the episodes where Cass was doing cases with them. Dean was like kind of over the moon most of the time.
Yeah.
And that was really fun to watch, and and so he knows that Cass has a lot of like feelings for him, because he got evidence of that in Purgatory when Cass ran away from him, and at first it was a little bit of a miscommunication when they were talking, and then Cass said, I left you to protect you. And so he got that confirmation that Cass cares that much.
Yeah.
So he knows that he can get through to Cass that way.
Yeah. But I think Dean was aware of some sexual attraction sort of back in season 5, because of, obviously we've said this before, his sort of sexual jibes at Cass, sort of like, blow me and all this, and it's just... But I don't think he ever thought there was anything more there, so...
Yeah. And now Dean's kind of aware of both, because again, let's not forget the boner scene. I think it was such a moment of realization. It was like, oh no,
crap.
Oh crap.
Can I say something?
Yes, Shannon.
Yeah.
To anyone who does not believe that was a boner scene, you are listening to someone who has had to hide and had to move a lot of boners in his life during class. Dean had a boner. That was the boneriest boner I've ever seen in all of bonerdom. Boner.
I can feel this is gonna get quoted.
The bonerest boner of bonerdom.
I'm just saying, speaking as a guy, that he was doing exactly what every single other guy that has ever existed in the history of forever has done whenever they did not want anyone to see their boner. He did that thing with the roof of his hand, with the hilt of his hand, where he had to try to move it just so, first of all, he got uncomfortable, obviously. You could see it on his face. And then he was moving because, first of all, Dean's pants are kind of tightish, so he didn't want anyone to see. And if you have a boner with tight pants, it's really not fun.
I do just stare at Dean's crotch for myself.
Shh. No. I'm just saying.
Hey, doesn't Jensen go commando a lot when he does conventions? Does he go commando when he's filming as well? Or does he actually wear underwear?
Just saying. That's all I have to say on that subject. I can definitely tell you it was a boner.
We should ask, I think, is it Profound Bondage? Mary, she notices all of Jensen's little boner things and stuff, so yeah. Mary,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mary, get in touch with her. She's always coming on the group hey, have you seen Jensen's semi? And I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
It's look at his jeans, he has a hard on, and we're just oh my god.
I love Marianne. I mean, she's the penis all the time.
In case any of you guys thought we did anything productive in the group.
It's literally, we'll just be talking along, and suddenly Mary will just pop into the group and just post a picture, just hey, look, Jensen had a boner.
Oh my god, I do have a major in bonerology.
Oh. I would really, really, really love to know, though, who put that in. Was it just Jensen because he makes a lot of acting choices? Was it someone had a talk with him and said, hey, we need to amp up the STL, but in a way that wouldn't be too queerbaity and in a way that would be good at the moment? I'm inclined to think that it was just, Jensen.
Yeah. I think Jensen's made quite a lot of acting choices this season, actually. But yeah, by the way, okay, you've seen it, Shannon. Yeah, everyone wants a boner meta now, so... and you need to count how many times you say boner in one meta, and, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, next question, because I have two things I need to do at the end of this broadcast, so moving on. From Supernatural Blog, do you think we'll get confirmation of Dean's feelings for Cass before the end of Season 8? The unfinished conversation between Sam and Dean in 8:18, combined with all the other unanswered questions this season, why were you praying to him, for example, seem to be building up to this. So, Carolyn, do you want to start us on this one?
I have absolutely no idea what they're going to be doing with this, because so much of the plot is going to be coming in that there might not be time. But I definitely think that, I think 8:22 and 8:23 are going to be the major game changers in terms of not just the overall seasonal arc, but I think I'd be surprised if there wasn't some sort of confirmation in some way at the end, but if there isn't, I'd be fine with there being one in Season 9, too.
Yeah.
So
it kind of makes
Shannon's.
Oh yeah, Shannon, go.
I don't think that it will happen this season, simply because I feel that it's still too early. Because I feel like this is sort of like you see in shows like Bones or shows like Castle. It takes a lot of build up in order for these relationships to happen and for them to make sense and not feel rushed. You got shows like Castle and shows like Bones, where it feels like they do it too much because they really do, because they really like to depend on that. I feel like if anything, we're going to get something halfway through season 9, or we're going to get it towards the end of season 9 after we've got confirmation of season 10, simply because they can't just worry about how Destiel shippers and how people who don't mind Destiel happening, they can't just worry about those. You have to worry about all of the other fans. So I'm thinking after season 10, then that's when we're going to get, after season 10 is done, and we know that Carver has that plan, and it's probably going to end at season 10, then we're going to have that confirmation, and we're going to have that sort of scene that everyone's been wanting. But I think until that point, or until at least halfway through season 9, we're not going to get any sort of confirmation. Not yet. It's going to still be build up.
Yeah, I think that this kind of depends on how they are going to distribute the dramatic points, because they are going to want to use the points of development in Dean and Cass's relationships for maximum impact. But they really keep elevating it through season 8. So I do think that till the end we might as well get something, but it's not going to be something that direct or big enough to be a dramatic point in their relationship. It could be something subtle, like that talk between Dean and Sam. Something of that nature. Definitely not something where Dean says something to Cass that's like romantically indicative. But could be something smaller that kind of tips the scale a little bit as just another next little step, because they're clearly going, up and up and up here. What with starting with the hug and then building up all the way to the crypt scene.
See, I think obviously we're going to end up with a massive cliffhanger, aren't we? So yeah, I think we're going to get something like Cass is going to be in trouble or something, and Sam's going to be like, Dean, we have other things to do. Shit, we need to close the gates of hell. And then Dean's going to be like, no, I need to save Cass. And then yeah, we're going to end up with this massive cliffhanger. But I don't think we're going to get anything huge at the end of this season. But I do think season 9, it will probably go pretty undeniably canon. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I feel it like at the least... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, Carolyn, go.
Go.
I feel like at the least we might get like some sort of conversation about the answer of you that Cass should be answering. Like maybe he needs him back, but maybe it's not going to be explicitly romantic, but it's going to be... they've left that question open. Yes, for the audience to answer you, but Cass also still needs to answer it, and I feel like it's one of those things that might not survive the break between seasons, so they might have to address it sooner.
Yeah, and I also think that it sort of a little depends on what they are going to consider as the culmination of the arc, or like the conclusion of the arc between Dean and Cass. And if, as I am hoping, it is actually them getting together, like in a relationship, then say Dean making some sort of reference or something that would kind of sort of a little confirm it, say like in a talk with Sam, wouldn't be a very huge deal, because it's still like miles away from him actually saying something to Cass or admitting it further or like something like that, So it depends on how big it is in the context of their relationship.
Yeah. By the way, like someone in the chat is also a mentalista like me watching The Mentalist, and can we just say that Jane said to Lisbon that he loves her, and it still isn't canon. Because afterwards he was like, what? No, I didn't say that. And it's just like, oh my god. So, it gives me actually a bit of peace of mind, because we have this het couple who have been building up for 5 seasons now, and they still haven't snogged. And, they've been in love since episode 1. So I'm actually not that... This is probably why I'm not that bothered about Destiel, because I'm like, I ship Gisborne, and that is hell on earth, so...
Yeah. The only reason why we're bothered about Destiel is the general situation with same-sex couples on TV.
Yeah, but I think they are going to do it. That's why I'm not too bothered, because I am reading all the signs from Destiel that I am reading from Gisborne, and I know Gisborne's going to be canon at the end of it, as soon as Red John's dead. So I know that Destiel is going to be canon as soon as there isn't anything in the way. So it's sort of, you can sort of parallel it to Gisborne, because they've got this big sort of hanging over Jane. You have Red John, and obviously Jane can't be with anyone while Red John's around, because Red John will kill anyone he's with. So it's sort of, that actually is quite nice comparison to Destiel. Anyway, moving on, because I do have a video to play at the end of this that everyone will love. From Doctors Herhoovian 221B10. Do you think Castiel will ever meet Charlie later on in Season 8, or at least in Season 9? And if so, what do you think will happen? And I will start with Silven, going back down the line.
Yeah. Okay, I have a question to ask, though. Do we remember if the Charlie episode is the Cass episode? Because sadly, I don't think it is.
No, it's not.
It's not, so, which means that we know for sure that Charlie is coming back for one episode, and I think that if she was coming back for another one, we would know by now.
Yeah.
Which means that sadly, most likely Charlie is not meeting Cass this season.
Yeah. Shannon, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, any thoughts on this?
Could you reread the question?
Yeah.
It's alright, yeah. Do you think Castiel will ever meet Charlie later on in Season 8, or at least in Season 9? And if so, what do you think will happen?
If Charlie doesn't die in whatever episode she's in, definitely. So.
Oh god, there we go, Satan.
Everyone's been dropping hints to me that Charlie's going to die, but I'm really hoping that she does meet Cass before she does, because I feel like if she got to sit in a room with Dean and Cass together, oh wow.
She would just be like, what the hell is going on?
Okay, like, if Charlie dies, to say that I will be pissed will be to say nothing, because, like, you have one openly queer character right now. Stop burying your gays, okay?
And let me say something to the group. I don't want Charlie to die. That's the one thing Satan doesn't want. Satan loves Charlie.
Carolyn, any...
Of course.
Yeah, sorry. I was just going to say, Carolyn, any thoughts on Cass and Charlie?
I would love for them to meet, but I don't think that's going to happen this season because because Misha's not budgeted for that episode.
Yeah.
So, they're probably not going to meet. Maybe at the most we might get a conversation with Charlie and Dean, and she might be like, "Where's you mentioned a third guy hanging out with you. Where is he?" or something like that. Like, I don't know the extent of...
That could be really juicy, though. I'm really hoping for that, because it is an actual possibility, considering that the last time, Dean actually had a totally solid talk with Charlie about everything that had happened. So, like, it's a thing they do. So they could totally get a talk where Dean mentions Cass, and Charlie is like...
Since then, Dean's been beaten up by Cass, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So... Yeah. Dean has a lot of Cass feels, and they're gonna show.
Anyway, just moving on to our last question before I read as a chapter of Hunting Husbands. Quickly, please, could you guys talk about Sam not having friends this season? It's actually pretty sad because Dean has Cass, Benny, Charlie, Chrissy, Garth, etc., while Sam has no one outside of Dean and Amelia. And even the guest stars like Ellie, Aaron or Portia always interact more with Dean. So I was wondering what your thoughts are on this matter. And that's from Anonymous.
No one can talk to Sam without dying.
Yeah, exactly. You get close to Sam and you just die. So.
Oh god. Yeah. I definitely would love Sam to have more friends, and I do think that, I know we always accentuate the relationship between Dean and Cass, but Cass is also Sam's friend. He should totally be Sam's friend. I think we all agree on the fact that, he doesn't dislike Sam. He should be, friends with him. It would make all kinds of sense. But also, I do think that it could a little bit be part of the thing where we explicitly know that Sam wants, family and companionship. And I could feel that, it could be a thing where what he wants is being denied to him a little bit.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that. It's really sad. I absolutely want Sam to, have friends and have everything and be happy, and I believe that. And I hope that we're led to a point someday where he has all that,
Yeah.
Or maybe Sam's becoming sort of like Dean used to be, and maybe he's starting to think that, because especially after what happened with Amelia, that if he tries to get close to anybody, he's going to end up losing them, sort of like how Dean used to think before Cass came along.
Yeah, and as well, like, with everything that happened with Amelia, maybe Sam's being a little bit more careful now, because maybe he's still hurting quite a lot from that. So, yeah. I mean, he's friends with Garth, isn't he? He talks to Garth.
Yeah, and people are in the chat saying that Kevin is Sam's friend, and
Yeah. So, yeah.
All the 7 shippers.
Yeah.
I ship 7. 7 shipper in the house.
See,
Don't tell.
Awesome.
I'm not on that. I'm not. I don't know why, but
Don't tell Osric I ship him with Jared Padalecki, please.
Maple.
Yeah.
He knows that 7
Maple, it's
exists.
because we're the Sabriel people.
Yeah, we're the Sabriel people. Yeah. So. But yeah, don't.
Wait, does Osric know that 7 exists?
Yeah.
Yes.
He does. Someone
Yeah.
asked him about it. So.
He my roommate Eric actually showed him some 7 stuff from the 7 tag.
It wasn't porn, was it? Please tell me it wasn't porn.
I think some of it might have been, but
Oh
like
my God.
mostly to mess with Osric, and Osric has a really good sense of humor about it, and he's like, I'm happy that people love this stuff. So.
It must be creepy though to see yourself sort of portrayed in a gay relationship.
Not
No,
everyone's like.
come on, Maple. Maple, we have porn. Did you
Yeah.
forget that we have porn?
Yeah, but I'm part gay, so I don't mind.
Well, yeah, same.
I'm fine with that. So yeah, let Osric know we love him though, even though one of us ships 7. That's fine.
Tell him I don't ship it obsessively. Like, I'm not one of those people that thinks him and Jared are in some kind of secret relationship that's being hidden by the press or anything. Not that I'm pointing fingers at some people.
Yeah, well,
I'm
Yeah,
saying-
I'll let him know. I'll let him know.
Yeah. I think the general consensus is we love Osric. Yeah.
Yeah, we love Osric. Totally.
So-
He's like the best person to ever come to Supernatural in a while.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I was trying to tell him, cause I was on his, he did a live chat, and I was trying to tell him that, Kevin was sort of, when he was running away from Sam, he was sort of doing this weaving thing, and actually that's the best way to escape a rampaging moose, is to weave.
That's great.
Yeah, I was like, oh wow, that's the best way to get away from a moose, is to actually run in a zigzag. So, yeah, anyway, we are getting to the end of the broadcast now, and I have a couple of things to do. The first is this week we have a chapter of Hunting Husbands. Yay! And also,
Yay.
I don't know whether you guys saw, well, you guys probably have seen the post going around about the tear-jerking Destiel video. And I am proud to announce that the fandom version for the powers that be, so the one that's going to be, the shorter one that's going to be sent to the people in charge, is finally ready. So I'm going to play it at the end of this. So, are we all sitting comfortably for Hunting Husbands?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Oh, God. I've ended up reading this again because nobody else wants to. Just give me a second. Okay, and off I go. Come on, Kaz, just say cheese, Dean said with a laugh as he lounged back on his elbows, eyes crinkling behind the dark lenses of his sunglasses. Castiel rolled his eyes and flexed his bare toes against the warm sand. I'm not going to say cheese, Dean. I don't see a point, he mumbled, ignoring the small black camera Dean was pointing at him. It's meant to make it look like you're smiling, Dean sighed, subtly flicking a switch on the device. Castiel snorted and looked at Dean through the tinted lenses of his own sunglasses. They did make seeing things easier, and Dean said the large frames suited him. Why can't I smile properly? Castiel said with a frown, and Dean laughed, keeping the angel in view on the small camera screen. That's even better. Smile, then. The angel shook his head, and a small smile twitched at his lips, but it wasn't quite what Dean was looking for. I don't smile on command, Castiel sighed. Dean rocked forward, turning the camera around to catch Castiel's face. Then what will it take? The angel raised a brow and smirked. More than pointing a camera in my face, he said as he made a move to grab the camera. Dean rolled to one side and kept it out of his reach before moving up next to him, shuffling in the sand and resting shoulder to shoulder with the angel. Dean lifted the camera in front of them and turned to nuzzle up against Castiel's jaw, teasing him with a kiss. You should smile more, he murmured. The angel sighed and huffed a gentle laugh, turning his head to look at Dean. The hunter lifted his mouth to Castiel's and pressed a sweet kiss there, lingering and soft and tasting of ozone and chocolate. The angel sighed softly, and Dean felt a warm hand on the back of his head, holding him close, even as Castiel's lips left his. I smile enough, he said, and he was wearing that perfect expression that he had just for Dean, a smile that was only in his eyes and at the corners of his mouth. It was better than any toothy grin any day. Dean brought the camera towards them and flicked the dial again, before holding it out in front of them. "Then at least look at the camera," he murmured in Castiel's ear, before pressing a kiss to his cheek and pressing the button. Castiel gently took the camera out of Dean's hand and pulled off his sunglasses, before leaning in close again, pressing their lips together and pulling Dean into him. Dean heard the camera click once more before it was tossed into the sand and forgotten as the sun sank down towards the horizon, the world bathed in gold. Dean rescued the camera from the incoming tide later on and stood on the moonlit beach looking down at the small screen. The most recent picture was of the kiss, and he could see the grin on his lips pressing against Castiel's own wide smile. The image was bright and perfect, the backdrop of sand and palm trees coloured gold by the sun. He flicked back to the next image, and saw the smile that had broken onto Castiel's face as Dean kissed his cheek. The hunter smiled and slowly lowered himself onto the warm sand, flicking back once more to see the play button displayed on the screen. He pressed it and held the camera close, watching the video he had recorded earlier. He smiled fondly at the indignant snort and the deep frown, so typically Castiel. His gravelly voice didn't come through too well on the camera's speaker, but Dean could just hear him. He didn't care about his voice, though, because Castiel's face was relaxed and open, that smile all in his eyes and in his shoulders, rolled back where he pressed his hands back into the sand. Dean's smile faltered a little as he watched the video play out, the slightly exasperated yet fond laugh from Castiel making his heart swell. He let the camera sit in his lap and looked down at it as they kissed. Dean was taken aback by the joy on his own face and the relaxed slope of his shoulders. They were both so different. Everything had changed so much. Neither of them were soldiers crafted by their fathers. They were their own people, making it up as they went, and it was perfect. The video cut out just as they parted, and Castiel murmured, "I smile enough," with that damned perfect expression on his face. Dean swallowed hard and rubbed at his eyes quickly before pressing play again. He watched the video at least 5 times before he heard the door slide open at the house to his back, and the familiar low voice calling out to him. "Dean, what's wrong?" Damn soul bond. Dean let out a choked laugh and looked over his shoulder as the angel came down the steps towards him, wearing only his slacks ready for bed. "Nothing, actually," Dean said with a small smile, offering the camera to the angel as he got close enough. Castiel frowned and took the device before sitting down next to the hunter, pressing the play button as he got settled. He watched it in silence, Dean leaning against his shoulder, and there was a familiar warmth resting between them on their link. "It's just weird," Dean said quietly as the video came to a stop once again. Castiel hummed in agreement and gently put an arm around Dean's shoulders. "But good," he said quietly. Dean let out a long sigh and nodded as he wrapped his arm around Castiel's waist and settled there. They watched the video again, and Dean could feel the amusement radiating from the angel. "What?" Dean asked with a small laugh. Castiel chuckled and placed a kiss at the top of Dean's head. "Being happy suits you," he answered. Dean couldn't say he disagreed, but being happy also suited Castiel. He pressed a quick kiss to the angel's cheek before pushing himself up. "Come on, I'm white," he said as he offered his hand to Castiel. He thought that maybe, just maybe, he could do happy for once. There you go.
Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next week, one of you is reading it.
Oh yeah. I should be over my bronchitis by next week.
Yes, good.
I could try it. If you're not over, I can.
Oh, guys, before we play the video, somebody asked me to promote a poll that's going on right now, and where SDL is losing right now, and we really need everyone to vote. So I'm going to post the link in the chat right now. If you guys could please go and vote.
Yeah. There's also, I put a link to it. It's the Zimbio one, isn't it? I've put a link on the...
Yeah, it's the Zimbio one. It's the Zimbio one. And, guys, what I really love about that poll and what I feel is really awesome is because Dean and Cass are already, totally being put next to couples that are, fully canon.
Yeah.
And they're being recognized as something similar. That's really important, and which is why go vote, everyone.
Yeah. So yeah, go vote. So that is all from us today. We're going to leave you with a video in a second. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Carolyn, for joining us today.
Yeah.
No
Thank
problem,
you
it's
so
fine.
much.
So yeah, say hi to Osric for us. Let him know we love him, and thank you for your thoughts. And
I might be Osric to pop in sometime.
that'd be amazing if he would come along. We'd love to hear his thoughts on what's happening. So yeah. So thank you everyone for popping in. Thank you for all your questions. Everyone go follow Carolyn because she's amazing. She reblogs some great stuff and she's super
Oh
nice.
yeah, do it.
I sacrificed the lamb for her.
So yeah, that's it. So I will leave you with the tear-jerking Destiel video, and we will catch you guys next week. Yeah. And the feed has gone down. Hang on a second. I'll just wait for it to come back. I hate it when this happens.
Yeah.
I need the feed to come back before I play the video, so... Is it back? Okay, I think we're back.
I think so.
Yeah, everyone says we're back. So if you can't watch it now, it will be back. Obviously, it is being recorded, and you can watch it later. So yes, thank you all for coming. We are back at our usual time next week of 3 p.m. EDT, 8 p.m. GMT. So yes, thank you all for coming.
Ooh, can I say something really quick?
Yes, you can.
Yep.
On the weekend of April the 13th, I will sadly not be able to make the broadcast because I will be going to North Carolina to go to a prom with my best friend. So be prepared to cry because I won't be in your lives that weekend.
Oh no.
Aww. Oh.
Have fun, though.
Yeah. Oh, but me
Yeah, have
and
fun.
Silven will be here, so...
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you guys for joining us again. And we will leave you with the video. Say bye, everyone.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Mapal and I am part of Team Profound Bond, and you are watching the tear-jerking Destiel video. This video is a collection of Destiel fans and what Destiel means to them. It's important to a lot of people in their lives, and we hope to show that in this video. For me personally, Destiel has saved my life more than once, and without Destiel I wouldn't be alive today, and without the friends it has given me. So I hope you watch this video and you see a whole new side to what shipping is and what it really means to people, and I really hope you enjoy the video.
Hi, I'm Alexander, a longtime Supernatural fan, and Destiel is important to me as a gay man and as a big fan of the sci-fi fantasy genres because of how starved I often feel for representation in those genres. Supernatural would be truly groundbreaking if it were to have an openly bisexual man as a leading character, and it would join the short list of fantasy series with openly queer characters in leading roles.
Hi, my name is Rita. Dean and Cass, well, their story is a beautiful one of letting yourself be loved for who you are. I've never known such a love story, such a love that transcends gender so much as theirs. They are soulmates, two sides of the same coin. Their bond is not only profound, it's magical, and it means so much to me on a personal level. I literally feel their pain, and it hurts a lot sometimes. It's not about being gay, it's all about the love connection. Theirs is the most profound relationship on TV right now, and I believe that they don't think that they are worth to be loved, and this is why they care so much and have so much to give. These are two broken men who can fix each other and who will always find each other. And if this is not love, then there is no love.
For me, Destiel is an emotion, a philosophy, a need, a hug, a trench coat, an amulet, a non-understanding reference, rusty people skills, an angel with a shotgun, an unwavering and unadulterating story of love, and most of all, a profound bond.
For me, the relationship between Dean and Cass is so much different than the love that popular media shows us nowadays, because when we speak about love today, we basically mean sexual actions and kisses, because that's what people show us. There is no emotional aspect of love. But this girl, however, shows us really nice, because Cass gives up mostly everything for Dean, and Dean tries to do the same, and this is the relationship based on caring about each other and sacrifices. And I think this is what makes it the most beautiful, because this is love without physical aspects, it's just emotions, and that's just great.
My name is Alicia, and I am an enthusiastic supporter of the relationship between Dean Winchester and his angel Castiel. There was a time when I thought it was weird when manly men fell in love with other men, but not anymore. It is apparent to anyone who watches not only with their eyes, but with their heart. There are many intelligent people who are passionate, who have grown from the love of Castiel and Dean, who have a little section of their heart carved out for those two tragic heroes. There are people who would have never met because of this relationship, and I personally have friends from all around the world who I would have never met, and they're the best people in the world, and they're like family to me now. And Castiel is like a candle that lit 1,000 other candles and is lighting up a small portion of the world through megapixels of art and megabytes of literature. Castiel matters. It matters to us now, and it will matter in the future. It is ephemeral yet enduring, quiet yet passionate, tragic yet beautiful, as all beauty inherently possesses tragedy. This story doesn't need a sad ending. Every day we are shoved into a daily tragedy, the dramatic irony of daily life, but Dean Winchester and his angel can have a happy ending where they can endure for all time on the screens of television around the world, or the painter's canvas or the writer's words. It is revolutionary because it is honest, genuine, touching, and authentic. No one had made a connection with Castiel, and he was like any other angel, but they have become friends, and now he's the only angel in the world.
For me, Dean and Castiel's relationship is about this inexplicable creature and this broken man who came together and from the ashes of their own misfortune created something wonderful, and how it transcends gender and circumstance, and how in the end they always find each other. And seeing something like that really means a lot to me.
Dean and Cass's relationship is real and deep and, dare I say, profound. The way I watch Supernatural, it's just as true as Mulder and Scully's relationship was, and just as real as Harry and Hermione was to me, until it wasn't. Dean and Cass is full of shoulder-touching and staring contests, talk-to-me's and I need you's. It's purgatory hugs and laughter in the face of danger. It's a long road of trust and broken trust and trusting again. It's about letting someone change you for the better, letting someone in and showing you how amazing you can be. Dean showing Cass free will, and Cass showing Dean that yes, he does deserve to be saved. It's about love when everything seems lost and hanging on when there seems to be no hope. This is the power of genre television, showing us the human experience through a different lens, and Dean and Cass remind me how powerful love can be.
Destiel, what it means to me. This is one of my most cherished pairings, and I'm not the sort who can point at something and go, oh, I like it, they're pretty. It's deeper than that, and for me, Destiel is basically, this pairing would literally revolutionize the world. It would, and It would just mean so much to so many people, including me. It would.
Cass and Dean's relationship taught me a lot about true love and friendship. But what's the most important, it gave me hope. Hope that someday someone will love me, no matter how broken I am. That they will let me take care of them and they will take care of me. They will see good in me, even when I don't see it. Dean and Cass, they made me believe in love, and that it can happen even in your darkest moments. I am so much happier since I have Destiel in my life.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I adore Dean and Cass characters. I think the relationship on the show is compelling. That one goes without saying. Now, what I want to bring up is heteronormativity, because this mentality ruins queer people's lives, and it's not just that. It does tend to trivialize everybody's real life experiences. So for me, having Dean and Cass together romantically on Supernatural would mean the chance to have this huge positive social impact. It would be like this big victory in the history of TV. And I really feel like it could help disrupt that mentality. And that's why, as a fan, as an LGBT ally, and as a person, I think that the beautiful love story that Dean and Castiel share really deserve to be explored in its entirety. That was your last message. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate that. That means a lot to us. We hope we could share the love and erase some misconceptions.